Well, hello and welcome to Ask the Doctor. My name is Jerry McGee and I'll be the host for today's show. We're here with Dr. Corey Altabed of Painkiller Hands Chiropractic Clinic in Meadville, Pennsylvania. On today's show, we're going to cover a topic that more than likely you know somebody that's had the problem, maybe yourself included, and that is sciatica. I think a lot of times, if we're looking at pain, back in the butt area, maybe down the leg, we go to a physician. Majority of the time, it's sciatica.
Yeah.
A lot of times, they're going to treat it with an injection, oral medications, things like that. But I think in my research that I've done, I found that there's really a misunderstanding about sciatica, and that a lot of the times it truly isn't really an inflammation of that sciatic nerve, but there's some other things involved. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you found, kind of what your philosophy is and experience in treating a person with sciatica?
Well, you're absolutely right. There is a lot of misunderstanding. And what I found, since I treat a lot of people with sciatica, what I found is that more often it is not caused by just simple inflammation of that sciatic nerve. It is caused by mostly two other conditions. Either A, the sciatic nerve is being pinched, or B, it's caused by pain that is similar to the same pain pattern of sciatica, but caused by the muscles. And what happens is, and we'll describe that one first, where the muscles in the butt, usually what they'll do is when they get inflamed and irritated from toxins, and we'll call that trigger points, they develop little muscle spasms where the toxins build up in the muscle and they shorten the muscle, and then once that happens is these little balls, they get so irritated that they refer pain down the leg in the same pattern that sciatica does, right down the butt, down the back leg, down to the calf, and down even as far down to the heel if it gets really bad. So these trigger points will actually shoot the pain down in the same exact pattern as true sciatica. So oftentimes that's what I found what the problem was, and not inflammation. Now, of course, the other type, which is basically a pinching of the sciatic nerve, what that is, it's very similar to the trigger points where a certain muscle called the piriformis muscle, okay, which is attached to your tailbone and then to the side of your hip, what that does is it lays right on top of the sciatic nerve. Now when that muscle goes into spasm and tightens up from overuse or whatever reasons, that pinches and clamps down on the sciatic nerve and it irritates it, it rubs on it. And you rub it enough, it's going to get angry and it's going to shoot pain right down the nerve. And of course the best way to treat that, of course, would be to treat the muscle, relax the muscle. And because, at Painkiller Hands, we specialize in treating muscles, we get great results. Now, one of the other things that's very important is because that muscle is attached to the bones, we treat the bones as well. And once we align the bones and treat the muscle spasms, then the mechanics function smoothly and balanced, and that prevents it from reoccurring. Now back to trigger points. That one, that referred pain, which is a poorly understood topic, the best way to treat that is with pressure points. And what happens is, once we find the exact spot, and trust me, there's many in the butt because it's a big region. Once we find the exact spot shooting that pain down the leg, we apply a pressure to tolerance, and we do that for a very short period of time. And what that does is it wakes up a reactive hyperemia in the muscle. That's encoded in your DNA for millions of years as we evolve. That's one of the things that happens after you put pressure on something. When you release it, blood flow just comes whooshing back in, and it releases all that toxins in the muscles. And generally those toxins are exhaust. And that's like a car gives off exhaust, so do your muscles. So when you overutilize that muscle, say you have posture problems or you're bending down improperly all day, and you're utilizing that muscle so much, you build up so much exhaust that there's not enough time for it to escape, and it kind of builds up. And when it builds up, it irritates the muscle and causes it to contract. What I mean by that is it just kind of balls up. And if you get a lot of trigger points, you'll notice when I ball it up, it actually pulls my elbows together. And that's what happens. It shortens the muscle. So with a lot of trigger points, it shortens that muscle so much, it pulls on bones and pulls them out of place as well. So that's why we treat both muscles and the bones. And together, that combination of treatments is extremely effective and often giving complete relief on the first treatment. Of course, and if it doesn't, we'll continue to treat it until it does. And that's pretty much how we treat sciatica here. And what we have found, that it actually is more common to find the trigger point cause or the pinched nerve cause than it actually just being inflammation in the nerve.
Right, right. Once again, I think that the key thing that we'd like to stress here is that there are alternative forms of treatment. There are other things that you can look at outside of getting injections and things like that, because we understand documented through science and the articles that are out there, is that there's a lot of negative side effects to any time you bring an external chemical into your body, such as a cortisone injection, things like that. I think we don't need to get into that. You should understand that is just, you don't want to do that on a repetitive basis. And I think what we're trying to, or at least in my understanding, is what you're saying is if we never truly correct that underlying cause and we just keep treating that individual symptom, we might get rid of that for a little bit. It's going to keep coming back. We're going to keep treating it with an external, type of program. Before you know it, you're back at a point where you've got the side effects, you've got the negative, things with cortisone injections and things like that. Now you might even have a bigger problem than you would have had in the beginning.
Absolutely.
And that's I can't say enough to the people watching this show on why they really need to give chiropractic care a really a good chance. And a lot of the things that we're going to talk about on future shows, they might not have even thought about, coming in to see a chiropractor. I know we had talked about headaches and things like problems. That. Right. There's just a ton of problems out there that we're dealing with that chiropractic care can really have a real impact. So, we encourage you to check out our website at painkillerhands.com, and we have that little area called Ask the Doctor. If you're kind of wanting to learn a little bit or just ask a question, maybe you've got something bothering you right now, or could be on sciatica or any other problem that you have that you would like us to feature on a future episode, just click on there, enter your question, and we'd be happy to feature that on one of our future videos. And we really just want to get people to understand that it's time to take charge of our own health. We have to start looking at alternative methods of treatment. We have to stop treating just symptoms, treat causes for true long-term impact. I think we also one of my pet peeves is every time you go to a doctor with a problem, the answer always seems to be you're getting older. Okay. Yeah. You're going to have those types of problems aging, and I think you would agree that that's really not the case. We can live a long
life. Can, absolutely, and there's many things that we offer here to help you be your own guru, be in control of your health.
Yeah, again, it's about education. Become educated on how your body functions, how it works, and how you can have a tremendous impact on it. So, with that, thank you very much for this great info today. It's a pleasure continuing to bring this content to the consumers out there to really get them to understand how chiropractic care can impact their health. So thank you very much for watching. Be sure to visit Dr. Altabet's site at painkillerhands.com. A lot of great resources there and things that you'll definitely find can have a tremendous impact on your life and your longevity. So thank you very much for watching, and we look forward to seeing you on the next show.